Okay guys, back for another cast on the druid. So, last time I logged out in Stratholme actually, and to get out of there, because you can't get out apparently. Well, you probably can at some other exit, but not from the main entrance at least. So it was like some iron curtain went down. But fortunately I got my Moonglade portal, so I just went there. I could have just logged out and waited for my Hearthstone to be active again, but that's what I did. So I just came from Moonglade, and yeah, well, as you can see here, it's 06:36 in the morning. I've just been sleeping and woke up and in a grindy mood, so I have to sort of abuse myself if I'm in a grindy mood. That is a main place to grind, and it's in the northern part of Felwood, meaning up here by my Deadwood Avenger buddies up here in the north. So a trip around the lake, and I thought, why not sneak up here, get the timer. So I got an hour of grinding ahead of me in a relaxed tempo, but yeah, I'm currently at, let's say, 16,879 rep. So when you reach Exalted, you have the option to grind additional 999 reputation, and if I know myself well enough, and I think I do, then I'm probably gonna do that. I'm sort of, what that goes, I'm a little bit nuts. I remember back in the day, even if I was grinding, say, what was it? The battleground with the flags. Man, that's been a while. It's been a really long time ago. So Warzone Gulch, of course, yeah. Back at Warzone Gulch, I even grinded, up to 999 Exalted on my main back then. Because, yeah, it was reputation to be grinded. But that's another story, and it's been a really long time since. But that taken into consideration, then let's say we are at 17,000 now. I need 4,000 to reach 21, and then another 1,000. So I need roughly 5,000 reputation. 100 feathers is 1,000 reputation, so basically I need 500 feathers in order to reach my goal. I'm not gonna get that in an hour, but I'm gonna get somewhere near that. And I'm currently at 92, so around 400 additional feathers. A quest will open, and you can see it when we get there. When you reach Exalted, and that quest will net me 200 reputation. So I could grind up to, say, 800 Exalted. That's still roughly around 5,000 feathers. Oh, sorry, 500 feathers. But like I said, I could use a lot of mooncloth anyway. So not mooncloth, but runecloth. Yeah, mooncloth is nice too, but it's not what I need actually to boost my Timbermaw Hold reputation, so I can get a little discount on my epic mount eventually. I'm still around 400 gold, something like that. Getting the epic mount for, say, I'm not quite sure how the mechanic is, but I can imagine it's around 800 instead of 1,000 if you have your reputation pumped like that. We're just gonna have to see. And after all, there is a little money, you could say, in grinding these guys. And if any new viewers haven't been watching me doing this, what seems like an endless Timbermaw Hold grind, I have far from recorded all of it, but the meat of the grind is, or sort of the trick of the grind, you could say, is to keep the Alamo bots, I call them that. It's the guys with maces. So this guy is sort of a caster, you could say. This guy with the sword is the warrior type. He can enrage if he sees a body fairly nearby dying, and then he will become red. His skin will, there'll be sort of a red aura behind, around him, and he will. That's because he's enraging, and then he will then do double damage. But the guys with maces, it's a guy like this one, and actually this is sort of a hybrid. Even though this guy has a sword, he is the name guy there, Chieftain Bloodmaw. He is sort of a hybrid between, I think, one of the Alamo bots and yeah, maybe the warrior type because he has the sword. Maybe all three of them. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, what I do here, because this is always a double pull, is that I've just cleared the area up here. So I'm gonna pull the Alamo bot up here. Probably gonna give him 3 Wrath, and then his buddy here, the big boy, is following. So I'm gonna root him for now. And at this distance, there's no way he can alert anyone else. I even cleaned out the guy that's sort of below this hill. And then it's back to big boy here. And his scream is more powerful than the other, so he could alert the chamois standing behind there, even though he was pretty far from him. But he's sort of a hybrid between the Alamo bots and the warrior, I guess. Okay, this guy just won't die. There we go. And that's about it. Otherwise, I just try to pull them one by one. It's fairly easy when I have my root to help out with it. And you gotta be aware of respawns, of course, but if you do it sort of in the grind here in sort of a circular way, you could say, then you're always sort of far away from the respawns when they start reappearing. I cleared up here in the beginning, and now you can see they have started to respawn. There's one there, and probably, yeah, some of the others up here. So I started up there, worked my way down here, and I'm probably gonna work my way back now, because it's only the named guys here that offer any reputation when you reach Revered. So if they have some sort of special name like Chieftain Bloodmaw there, they will offer various amount of reputation, and he offers 15. I might as well take that 15 each time I'm around, sort of. Let's say doing this guy 10 times, that's 150 reputation. That's the same as handing in 15 feathers. So it's 15 feathers less I have to grind. And I'll take it, yes sir. Golden Sansam here, yeah, sure I can pick it up, but I need to be pretty popular with a faction that I haven't even started with, meaning the Sandalari tribe or something like that from the raid in Strangleton Vale. They have some kind of recipe where you use these. And yeah, you could ask why you're not using Moonfire more. Well, partly laziness, you could say. It's easier just pushing one button continuously. And by the way, when I run out of mobs here, instead of sort of run down there and wait for some, that's one single respawn that I missed. But you can get around this tree here, and it's good to know in a tight spot if you need to run away from something. It's possible to get down here. And you can get the other way as well without too much parkour jumping. But Yeah, about the Golden Santam, I haven't even touched that faction yet. So I'm just picking them up for now if I come across them. I wouldn't say it's that rare of a herb, but it could be because I don't really need them. I'm not looking that much into it. After them, you could say. I think one of the recipes they are a part of is, I think it's called Mage Blood. Mage Blood is either spell power or mana regeneration. So before too long, I'll have respawns down where I was before, where the Chieftain Bloodmaw was. And I might as well just start to engage them. And naturally they will pop up in the same order as I killed them. They might be... It's not the same skin anytime. So the guy down there is Alarmo bot, the Den Watchers. And as you might be able to see, he has a mace as well. He might have been something else last time I killed him. So I think it's random, not with all of them, but many of them, what they spawn as. So this is Alarmo bot as well, and I want to sort of pull him away from the others. So at this dirt strip here, you can actually run up, even though the hill looks really sort of steep. Also good to know in a tight spot. And there have been times where I wasn't playing all too smart, so all of a sudden I got a lot of aggro, maybe some aggro here, and then all of a sudden I got these 4 guys as well. So I actually, yeah, I used my brain for a change, and then I went aquatic form and sort of fled out this way, where I pretty much aggroed up everything in the neighborhood, because, you know, one guy pulls another, pulls a third, and they start screaming as well, and holy crap, there was a lot of them after me. So I was pretty glad there that they cannot use root, even though root is not that big of a problem when you are druid, because you can just change form and you're out of any sort of movement impairing. I might be able to pull the boss here alone. Nope. Alright, so I'll root the boss, even though I had sort of partly DPS'd him. It's more like he's more of a hard hitter than this guy. And I knew instinctively that I had to face tank one of them when I pulled 2. The reason why I pulled them was that I thought I could get the boss without the other one. But I couldn't. Oh, the boss ball. Mini boss, Chieftain Bloodmaw here. He has a pretty big scream, so I'm glad I pulled him all the way up here. There we go. So I think I started out with 88 and we are now at 95 feathers. And been grinding for 13 minutes. So yeah, that's almost a feather a minute, sort of. Holy moly, and I need 500. 500 minutes, guys. Actually, the feathers are a bit random, but it's a certain percentage chance you have to get that they drop. I think it's about every 3rd mob or so. But as you can see now here with my mini circle, when I want to include Chieftain Bloodmaw, who always respawns in the same spot and has the same respawn time as the other guys. It's not longer or shorter or anything. So we have an alarm bot up there, and that's why I think I'm gonna clear out these guys first, so I'm not sort of shut in. I'd say the only real problem with this grind is, like I said, the alarm bots, and you need to be in a position where you can get away if you accidentally pull too much here. When you're dealing with the alarm bots. So here I wanna sort of get him somewhat away from this guy. And they will yell every time. I think it's when they're below 50% they start howling. So now it's all clear here below, and I can pull this sort of alarm bot down here. Oh. Bugger resisted my roots. And I would say 1,000 is around what I need to kill a mob, so usually when I reach 1,000 mana, then yeah, it's time to drink. It fits pretty perfectly because these are 4,400 mana recovered. And as I have 5,500 mana buffed here with the Songflower Serenade, it's almost a perfect match, that sort of mana efficient, that when I reach 1,000 I'm gonna get up to full. And what I've done back when all of the mobs offered reputation, from just killing them up to Revere, was that I did a sort of a larger circle, because I might as well get the flowers that spawns here. And it was the same spawn points, they had all of them. Now I'm more interested in Chieftain Bloodmaw. Just slow on the roots here. I did try, by the way. Just before I made the video, I took a detour into Winterspring because I had 4 the beats here, and they work the same way. You hand in 5 for 50 reputation. Just do it at another NPC. And then the reason why I had 6, because they were pretty slow dropped, I think, but it's all random. So I guess I can imagine the drop rate is precisely the same as these feathers, probably 1 in 3 mobs or something like that. But I don't think I got a drop from the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 mobs, something like that. And then I got one, and as soon as I got one, I saw there was a chest. And yeah, chests are always interesting at this level. So I killed a few more mobs I had to in order to get to the chest. And then I got an additional beat, so there was no point in sort of turning them in. The reason why I went there was to just get 1 beat, and then I could turn in, and then I would have an additional slot here when grinding. Yeah, when grinding here, your bags will get filled up pretty quickly. Of course, some of it is complete trash like this. I could just use it, and I will, I think. There's no need to fill up a space with an item that sells for 1 silver and 25 copper. I think we are back to like level 5 before that's a price, that amount of silver, I mean. There'll be other things that are trash stuff, sort of white weapons and armory and stuff. That'll be worth more. Come on, bro. Oh. interesting. So you can actually kite them around this tree here if you wanted to. At some point he will run the other way, even though I'm sort of standing a few inches from him. Okay, so the guys down there have respawned already. And it's just fine. It's just a perfect place for balanced druid, I think, here to grind these guys. Lots of mobs, I can control them with entangling roots and the feathers and rune cloth and silver just pouring in. And my buddy down there have respawned as well. These two, there's always... well, this guy will always spawn there. He's the warrior type, so I don't have to worry about him. I can kill him anywhere I like. He will not get me additional aggro. This guy is a patrol. And as you can see now, he wanders off down to enjoy the view by the lake. Same patrol all the time. And then there's usually 3 mobs here. If I pull this mob from the other side, I'll always get him and the boss. And if I pull... it's always an Alarmo bot, this guy. If I... yeah, and I'm just gonna drink even though I had more than 1000 mana, because I need more mana to kill these two than 1500. It's probably around 1000 mana per kill that I need. Roughly, depend if I crit or not. But it's a chamois, like... this one always spawning here, and he will respawn before too long. But if I pull the chamois from here, I'll get the boss. If I put this guy from over here, I'll get this guy as well. It's always a double pull. Yeah, and that's the moment you realize that you've been doing this too long, when you know all of these mobs sort of routines. So now I'm gonna get the boss as well, I think. Yep. Gotta root him. Just kill this guy. So the boss have a pretty powerful scream, like I said last, so I'm gonna pull him back a little further. Like up here, that I have just cleared. So, come to me, bro. Oh, and as you can see, he actually made it to alert the Alarmo bot with his scream. From up here, that's pretty nuts. But yeah, his scream is more powerful than these guys. Obviously. And another Alarmo bot, I'm gonna pull him to me. Should be fine. Without getting aggro from above, I mean. But even while doing this, I'm always sort of having an idea about where am I running if things get nuts. And right now, because I'm a little bit shut in, I could run up this way, but it's not a guarantee depending on where did I get aggro from. But the safest way out from here would probably go to run into the water, get aquatic form, and then simply go all the way through. I wouldn't calculate on that if I didn't have aquatic form, which is all other classes. Then I'd probably clear it a little bit differently. If you want to do it as safe as possible, of course. And a small rebuff here. And yet another Alarmo bot, so I'm gonna pull him to me. So last time I was running around with my Arena Grandmaster for safety because I hadn't really, in the last episode, I'm not that familiar with, is it Eastern Plaguelands, I think, where the same location as Stratholme. So I wanted to have that extra security of absorbing 1000 damage. But I'm getting better at removing. Normally I have the trinket down here, so alongside my healing, meaning my potion, my bandage, and then I got Arena Grandmaster. Depending on the situation, what is best for me, you could say, at any given situation. But I'm being better at removing the trinket if I haven't got it, and this trinket is definitely much better for me here when it's just routine grinding these guys. So 5 mana per 5 and 5 health per 5 seconds it's not much, but it's better than nothing. And if it's added up with my other items, say like this one, 6 mana per 5 second, and I'm gonna take this guy down there instead. And I got the oil here, which is 7. Well, the staff itself is 7 mana per 5 seconds, but I use these as well. 8 mana per 5 seconds, so we're talking 8 mana per 5 seconds regenerated. 7 from my staff, that's 15. 6 from food, that's 21. And then I have yeah, I think that was about it. But 20 mana, around 20 mana regenerated per 5 seconds. That's pretty good, I think, in a grindy setup like this. So another Alamo bot, bringing him a bit closer to me. And even though you could say I'm experienced in grinding these guys, it never hurts to sort of do a 180 degrees, anyone behind you, a patrol that I missed or something like that. Always good with awareness in this game, especially in hardcore. I'm sort of hyping myself up, but there's no one behind me. But besides the grind, I guess it's this video is good for seeing a couple of things. How well, it's no competition here. I'm pretty chilled. I'm not trying to max out anything. But what can Balance Druid do with his mediocre gear here? And how often does my trinket proc? I haven't really been noticing, but if you're interested in this card, and it's rather expensive, I think if you were to buy it now on this server, because there's not as many of, especially the aces. I saw the last guy that tried to sell the ace, it was 300 gold. I got mine for 50. But I would say it's worth it 100. That'd be my bet. So had the other guy that wanted 300 for it, had put it up for 100, I would have bought it right away. But it's more like I have several casters that could use it. But Moonkin is definitely one of them. I wouldn't spend a card like this on, I would say, a Warlock, because mana is not that much of an issue for Warlock. It's more like, well, Moonkin definitely suffers from lack of mana regeneration, but also Shadow Priest. I have a 60 Shadow Priest as well. Same issue. Shadow Priest does have the ability to regenerate after each kill. You get I think it's a 100% boost to your spirit, and that's why you definitely want to stack a lot of spirit on your Shadow Priest. And we are almost up half an hour. This is the proc, by the way, the blue dragon there from the trinket. And it just procced again, twice in a row. Meaning that I can regenerate mana while I'm casting. That's why I'm gonna take this guy as well. It's about using the proc when it's there, of course. But other than that, it's back to my, down to good old Chieftain, 15 rip, Bloodmaw. Wonder if I can even loot this. Yeah. Can be done. So, I'm just gonna have my half hour buffs are worn out or expended. These are made by enchanting, by the way, 250. And arcane elixirs I did myself. Actually, I did do the mana oils myself as well, the enchanting stuff. My Shadow Priest is enchanter, and I actually have a mage and a warlock as well. Both enchanters. It just fits so well with those classes, I think. And I think initially as you can see here, it's a double pull, even though it looks like it was bigger pull than that. So rooting this guy, killing the other here, and then making some distance to. I'm gonna try to pull this guy up here. He's no problem before he sort of starts healing, and he will do that around 50%. So I'm just chilling my DPS a little bit. The root is almost worn out. So yeah, this is really playing very, very safe. I don't know if he forgot to yell or if he did and I couldn't see it, but I think normally it will say that he yelled for help. Mr. Bloodmaw. But yeah, I had 3 enchanters, and that seems maybe a little bit silly, but the reason was that I thought in the beginning, where I sort of died a bit, I thought it would be nice to have an enchanter, and if my enchanter actually died, then it would be nice to have a backup enchanter. And then when that was my 60 priests, who haven't died yet though. Then I had a mage that I used to play with my son, but he had enough of hardcore at some point. He's been trying a bit on his own afterwards, but yeah, he's been dying some as well, so it's on pause. Him and I are probably gonna make 2 characters to play together at some point, and we're probably gonna record it. But it's not right now. And but about the enchanting, that was my second enchanter, the mage, who was actually my first class, I think. Yeah. And then I made a warlock at some point, and I think warlock was surprisingly funny. I haven't played warlock for a long time, and I thought that would be a little bit boring, and you know, I don't know why I had that idea. I used to have a warlock back in the day, but it was only for PvP, and it was because I was really tired of rogues, because everybody was playing rogues, and it seemed like the one class that could sort of do some have some fair terms with rogue was warlock, so I picked warlock. They're fun for PvP, that's for sure. But they're actually quite fun for PvE as well. I didn't record mine. He's, I don't know, 54 at the moment. But it's very in a relaxed tempi. I've been leveling him. And yeah, on my wish list at the moment, for if I could choose myself, I'd like to do some dungeons, Skolomans and Stratholm on my druid here. But there aren't that many offers at the moment, and my work hours are sort of... It's hard to combine that with whenever there is a group going for farming those dungeons. But it's mainly because I'd like to get my Argent Dawn reputation fulfilled, and there are items I can use there as well. So, not to mention the whole challenge of doing a high level dungeon, that would be interesting, and it's a very long time ago since I did it last. Yeah, we're gonna get the stick for the last bit here. There we go. Not much loot has dropped. It's pretty crazy actually from yeah, over half an hour. 36 minutes. I can see from when I took the buff here. And as you can see, by the way, when you cleanse the flower, as I did like almost 40 minutes ago, it's still up. It's possible for 2 guys, probably of the same faction, to get a new buff. And naturally, normally I would sort of retake the buff if I came by now and only had 22 minutes left. But yeah, I'm on a timer here, so I'm just gonna leave it be. So when the buffs run out, it has been an hour of grinding, and I guess it would be kind of interesting to see what I've actually made. I didn't look at my gold status, but I'm more interested in the feathers and maybe the rune cloth as well. Of how much can be attained from an hour of grinding. Gonna shoot this guy through the tree, no problem. But it's definitely more viable to do this grind here than in Winter Spring, as the mobs are much more spread out. You're gonna have a lot of time running to get more mobs. And this is just, you know, the perfect circle, just like the band that I like a lot, by the way, to grind them in. Further, it seems like most people actually want to do the grind in Winter Spring because they have the chance to drop the firewater, meaning 35 extra attack power. It's sought after by raiders, and they will pay decent gold for those firewaters actually. Little bonus, by the way, is these sort of deep fried plantains or bananas. They look like my log, who's level 54, can actually use these. So this way my log won't have to buy any food. And Chieftain must be just about to respawn because his two bodies here are, or have respawned. This might be a triple pull. Double. So, no panic. Was a bad pull I made here though. So, up to sort of, first of all, I'm gonna root the big guy. He's the biggest threat. There we go. Get away from me so he doesn't hit me. There we go. And kill this guy. He's just a normal warrior. So I got a bit too greedy here with the pull. And checking the surroundings, no problem here. And my health should be fine. I'm just gonna reboot him right away. Make a little more distance. If he comes for me, I'm gonna pull him up here so he runs in this direction. Hopefully he will not alert this guy then. He'll be a fine if he does, but... So, but it's good to see that even I, that have been doing this a lot, can screw these pulls up. I got a little bit greedy and then it was a bit of a chain pull, so one of the mobs that respawns pulled another, and then the Chiefmaw, whatever, Bloodmaw, he spawned in the middle of it. So what I do right away is how my brain is wired in playing this game, is that I'm thinking escape. How do I get out of this if I want to flee? I mean, and I think it would have been the extra sort of escape route I have as a druid. So it would probably have been run down here in travel form and then aquatic form, get the hell out of here. It'll only work as a druid because you swim incredibly slow if you don't have aquatic form. So any other classes can't pull it off like that. Ui, lots of nice fat crits here. So if he breaks the route, I like him to come this way, away from these guys over there. as it's sort of safe here. I cleared out everything, but he was far enough to not be sort of chain pull all of these guys down there. Yeah, 115 feathers so far. I'd say normally in an hour of grinding I would get a little more loot than this. But they just aren't that generous today. And typically they can drop like sort of grey swords and maces and stuff, and that would give from 1 to 2 gold, something like that, a piece. So let's see if we can do this pull a little less clumsy this time. So to do it as safe as possible, I'm gonna do the single pull for starters. This is always, like I said, a double pull. And there's another single pull there. Just used the Moonfire because he was getting sort of too close for comfort to these guys. So I wanted to pull him instantly, meaning Moonfire. And yeah, 2k mana is a little bit low for doing these two mobs. So I'll drink at 2000 mana instead of 1000 as normally. But this guy, by the way, is another good reason of why you should grind here to get the extra 15 reputation per kill when you reach Revered, because to my knowledge, there are, unless you do the Winterfall village itself, there are no sort of special named enemies that can give you extra reputation. And yeah, you're coming up here as you're such a powerful screamer. There we go. And another reason why it's mainly because it's pleasant to just, using the Wrath all along, but I think I can better control if I want to root mobs, if they get out of the root or not. I mean, if I cast Moonfire on them, I have an extra 234 to 274 initial instant damage, and then another 460 damage over time over the next 12 seconds, also known as a dot damage over time. And if I have the root itself, it offers a little damage, so that it goes both ways. It's good that it deals damage, but it also gives the chance for the mob to sort of be freed of the root due to that little damage as well. Naturally, it's a small chance compared to when you're just hammering the mob with crits stuff, but it's still, I've seen it before, any damage can sort of get the mob out of the root. And if I use a Moonfire on top, it's a lot of extra damage. Another thing is I can show you is that my world cooldown will go off when I use Moonfire. So it sort of breaks the rhythm of grinding, I think, and it's not worth it for that extra damage. Moonfire has its advantages, no doubt about it. Say if you're in a boss fight and you really want to push your damage, then you should definitely keep your Moonfire up at all times, but that's a different issue. Now we're just talking grinding, where I use root a lot. Another thing is that Moonfire will it costs the double of a Wrath spell, and with the pace I'm killing these guys, I won't do significantly more damage due to having a Moonfire on them. I mean, the mobs simply die before the Moonfire wears out, so it's a bit of a waste, you could say. So currently my Moonfire is 341 mana for a total of around 900 damage if the dot is fully used, and the Wrath is, well, it's 273 to 305, but I got a lot of extra, you could say, like here specific nature spell damage. So I'm giving somewhat more damage than 273 to 305. But I could show you... Yeah, I'm just gonna do this guy the normal way, but I'm gonna take another mob. One of the warrior kinds, the one with the swords. And I'm just gonna show you how it sort of breaks up the rhythm when I started using Moonfire as well. It's not that it could have its uses, I'm sure about that. For especially if you are lower level and yeah, and things are kind of different. But let's say I start out here with Wrath, and then the Moonfire, and as you can see I got a global cooldown, so I have to wait like a second in order to be able to cast something again. Now this guy got 2 dots on him, so there's an increased chance, as you can see, that the spell will break pretty much instant. It could happen anyway, you could say. Another way I could do was, that's completely foolish I think, is like start out with Moonfire, then I got a global cooldown, and then I can start using my Wrath and then Root. Sure, it can work, but again I got 2 damage over time, sort of working with the mob to break his roots. So I just think it's easier to... Sure, it's more pleasant as well, being lazy and stuff, and just push one button. Well, it's mainly 2 buttons because it's Wrath and Entangling Roots. And now I did keep my eye on my mana, so it's gonna be a little low, getting this guy down. Yeah. So, just gonna drink up here. I'm probably gonna take this one now, the Cleansed Songflower. I still have my Greater Intellect. It's an hour duration, just like the Songflower Serenade. So I'll use this as a timer instead. Because I can imagine without recording I'm probably gonna do eventually an hour more, something like that. I'm not gonna punish you with the full Timbermaw Hold grind here. But you can suffer some with me. I don't feel like it's suffering. It's actually very de-stressing, I think, to grind mobs like this. There we go. So you could say that was the full extent. I actually got 2 full hours of Songflower Serenade buffs for cheap price of 2 Cenarian plant cells. And I think actually in the last episode I was talking about that I won't run around with world buffs. And that's true. I've very rarely gotten the what the war chief's blessing and the stuff from the raids. They usually make like 3 buffs, one in Booty Bay, and this is probably a double pull, by the way. Yeah, so I'm gonna root this guy. And as I have to face tank this guy, I'm gonna give him a Moonfire just to help to soften him up. I mean, it doesn't matter here because he's not rooted anyway. And I can only root one mob at a time. But I can see it's not like I'm not, oh, you guys are cheating because you're using world buffs. I'm not like that at all. I just don't really have the need when I'm sort of playing normally. But you know, if I was about to do a really tough quest, or let's say I knew I would grind here and it sort of fitted that I happen to be online at 8 o'clock. It's almost always 8 o'clock in the evening. Then yeah, sure, I might do it. I mean, take the world buffs if you were to grind here, but on the other hand, I'm doing just fine like this. I don't really need that extra sort of damage and hit points and whatnot. So I think time's up, guys. 7 seconds late. 7 seconds remain. And okay, of course I got this guy on top, but it just shows how powerful the scream really is here. Yeah, you're gonna get the stick, bro. But that's pretty much it. So what did I get out of this from grinding an hour? Besides training my staff here. Actually kind of curious what it's at in skill level. Yeah, I'm just gonna pick up all the loot. Who knows, there might be an epic. Probably not. The loot was really meager compared to normally, but it's alright. It's not the main issue while we're here. So yeah, what did we get? Well, I got a little bit of reputation from killing this guy a couple of times. 15 reputation per kill. I got 63 stacks of rune cloth. That's not like a ton, really. And then I increased my feathers from 88 to 125. That's roughly 40 feathers for an hour grind. That's, yeah. What's that? It's like a minute, 20 seconds per feather, something like that. So, with my bodies here in the background, and the corpse of good old Chieftain Bloodmaw, I'm gonna bid you a fair farewell, guys, and thanks for suffering the grind with me. I'll see you in the next one, hopefully. Take care, bye-bye.